One of the most common questions we receive at the store is, which gun offers the fastest way to get out onto the field? And I mean, I get it. Maybe you just found out about the sport and you're excited, or maybe you finally saved up enough cash to land your first gun. Your buddies are waiting impatiently and you just want to load up your mags and play already. For this reason, for a couple years now, we've been strongly recommending ENCs because of their bulletproof, true quick change spring design so that you can drop your gun's velocity to your field limits and be ready to play in 10 minutes or less. But I think we can make that even better. I'm proud to announce that we're releasing a custom line of pre-built ENCs that are already tested at 355 feet per second, so you can literally take the gun straight out of the box and onto the field. We're starting this lineup with the ENC 804 as well as the ENC GR003, two of our most popular ENC models, but of course you will be seeing other models available as pre-built further on down the line. Not only is the muzzle velocity good to go, but we've handpicked some crucial upgrades that will increase your performance like shot response and accuracy, as well as increasing the reliability of your new AEG. Seeing is believing, so let's take a quick look at the shot response of the new pre-built ENC with the same 11.1 volt battery as a stock ENC, and then we'll take a look at what it took to get us there. Here's a stock ENC. Not bad. And here's the new pre-built. It's a little tough to show on video, but I think you can see the major improvement and you can really feel it when you pull that trigger. It just cycles that much more snappy and effortlessly. First and foremost, we've installed a MOSFET unit, the 3034. Simply put, it transforms your basic trigger contacts, which is just two pieces of metal that bridge each other forming a circuit, into a regulated electronic switch, which among other things allows you to safely run higher voltage batteries like an 11-1 LiPo. A more powerful battery will improve all aspects of your gun's performance, like shot response, rate of fire, and even battery runtime. But higher voltage batteries are known to cause something called arcing, which will eventually corrode your standard trigger contacts to the point of failure. I've actually had this happen to my own MP5K when I was too lazy to install a MOSFET with an 11-1, and believe me, when your trigger dies out on the field, it's not a good feeling, especially when the only way to fix it is a complete teardown and a swap of that trigger contact. Classic trigger contacts work just fine, especially if you're just using a 7.4 LiPo, but if you want to get the most performance out of your AEG, a MOSFET unit is a great place to start. Then we added Dean's connectors, also known as T connectors, over the standard Tamiya plugs. These offer a much better electrical contact, again for that better shot response and electrical efficiency. It's also just that much nicer to plug and unplug Dean's connectors, and we've actually seen players who thought their gun was broken, only to find it was actually the Tamiya plug that just came loose. Nothing against Tamiya, they are a fantastic company, but seriously, the Tamiya plug is a 50-year-old design. Seriously, it came out in the 70s. Next up, let's talk motor. We settled on the SHS high torque motor. Now, you might be asking, if it's shot response that we're ultimately after, why not go for the high speed motor? And the best way to think of it is like a sports car. If you're after that acceleration or that instant start from a standstill, which is essentially exactly what shot response is, then it's actually the torque that you're after, not the high RPMs, which might actually take a little longer to actually get to. In pretty much any build, you're going to want to start off with a high torque motor and then get the shot response that you want out of the gearing. Only very specific builds will actually benefit from high speed motors. When in doubt, stick with high torque. Speaking of gearing, we're going with the SHS 13:1 ratio hardened steel gear set. Now, of course, being hardened steel, you do get that improved durability, especially when running 11-1 power. But more importantly, it's a high speed ratio at 13:1 versus the standard 20:1 ratio. What this means is instead of 20 revolutions of the motor to fire off a single shot, there's 13 revolutions between pulling the trigger and the BB leaving the barrel. Of course, this gear ratio does require more power to pull, which is why it's perfectly mated to that high torque motor. As well, we didn't just chuck in the gear set and call it a day. We adjusted the shimming and added new grease so that your gear set will perform for years to come. Finally, we looked at accuracy. Honestly, having thoroughly tested my own stock ENC, I was very impressed at the accuracy, especially for a stock gun. But of course, there's always room for improvement, and if you're looking to improve your accuracy, one of the first places you should look is the hop-up bucking. We went with a modified flat hop. Basically, a flat hop allows for a larger contact patch between your rubber bucking and your BB that you're trying to backspin, and this allows for two main benefits. Firstly, you can use a lower equivalent hop-up setting and still get that same level of backspin. What this means is that now you can ramp up that setting so you can hop heavier weight ammunition that actually some setups do have trouble hopping heavier outdoor ammunition. And even if it can, when you're maxing your hop-up setting and putting all that pressure on the BB, you're losing out on muzzle velocity. But perhaps more importantly, that larger contact patch means a more consistent hop-up, which of course drastically affects your accuracy. If seeing the improved shot response is already making this proposition tempting enough, I haven't even told you the best part. You see, when you pick up a pre-built from us, you're paying exactly what you'd be paying for the parts cost alone. If you've ever had any gun work done, or especially on your car, you'll know that labor is how they always get you. And to be fair, it's justified. You are paying for those years that it took for the techs to accumulate that experience needed to put together something properly. Our goal here is to give newer players the best possible first experience, so we've waived the labor fee so you can get the best possible value. Oh yeah, and did I mention these guns come with a 30-day warranty as opposed to the standard 14. This gives you a little bit more peace of mind for your first couple games, and if issues were to arise, you can actually speak with the tech that put your gun together. It's not just some random dude in a factory overseas. These are put together by your friendly neighborhood tech right here in the land of the North. As always, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you feel like hitting this circular button, and we'll catch you on the next one.